For decades, aquariums around the world have been fascinated by the idea of displaying one of the ocean's most legendary predators, the great white shark. But time and again, those attempts have failed. No matter the size of the tank, the expertise of the staff, or the resources invested, great white sharks simply do not survive in captivity for long. This raises a question that has puzzled scientists, aquarists, and the public alike. Why can't the ocean's top predator adapt to life in an aquarium? Let's break it down. The need to keep moving. One of the great white shark's most critical biological traits is called REM ventilation. Unlike many fish that can pump water over their gills while resting, great whites rely on swimming forward to push water through their mouths and over their gills. This constant movement keeps oxygen flowing into their bodies. If they stop swimming for too long, the flow of water over their gills drops sharply, reducing oxygen intake, and this can quickly become fatal. In the open ocean, their entire lifestyle is built around continuous motion, covering vast distances. In captivity, even in the largest tanks, the limitations of space make it hard for them to swim naturally. The constant turning, stopping, and encounters with barriers disrupt their rhythm, and their survival depends on that rhythm. Interestingly, some other shark species, like the nurse shark or bamboo shark, have developed different methods of breathing that allow them to rest on the ocean floor, making them more adaptable to captivity. This difference in physiology partly explains why these species often thrive in aquariums, while great whites do not. Long-distance travelers. Great whites are long-distance migrants. Tagging studies have revealed that they can travel thousands of kilometers across oceans, with some routes stretching from coastal feeding grounds to transoceanic destinations, such as to Hawaii and beyond. These migrations are not random. They're tied to feeding cycles, breeding patterns, and seasonal changes. When placed in an aquarium, these sharks are suddenly cut off from their instinctive need to roam across immense open spaces. The restricted environment doesn't just limit their movement. It can create intense physiological and behavioral stress. Moreover, this migratory behavior is linked to complex sensory and environmental cues such as geomagnetic fields, water temperature changes, and prey availability. Captivity strips away these natural signals, further disorienting the shark and affecting its internal biological rhythms. Stress in captivity. Stress is one of the main killers of great whites in aquariums. The moment they are introduced to a tank, they often display signs of panic, rapid swimming, bumping into walls, and even injury. Some individuals refuse to eat altogether, while others begin to harm themselves or lash out at other fish. This stress response can lead to a rapid decline in health. A stressed shark's immune system weakens, making it more vulnerable to infections. Energy reserves drop, injuries worsen, and the shark spirals into a state from which it rarely recovers. Stress in captivity also triggers changes at a molecular level, including hormone imbalances and altered gene expression related to immune function. These invisible changes can hasten decline long before outward symptoms appear. The case of the Monterey Bay Aquarium. The Monterey Bay Aquarium, MBA, in California, is the facility most famous for trying, and for a time, partially succeeding, to keep great white sharks alive in captivity. Their most successful attempt came in 2004, when they managed to keep a juvenile great white alive for 198 days. That's more than 6 months, a record at the time. Despite the initial success, the shark began refusing food and showed signs of stress and injury from contact with the tank walls, and it also displayed aggression toward other fish. Eventually, the team decided to release it back into the wild. While it swam away, post-release tracking has shown mixed outcomes for previously captive great whites. Some survived, others did not. In another case, the last great white in MBA's care was released in 2011 after just 55 days. Sadly, it died shortly after being returned to the ocean. This was a turning point. MBA officially ended its program of exhibiting great whites, concluding that the risks and animal welfare costs were too great. The MBA's experiences have informed many marine biologists and institutions worldwide that despite advances in aquarium technology, the fundamental needs of the great white shark cannot be met in captivity. Other attempts around the world. It's not just the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Facilities in Japan, Australia, and South Africa have also tried to keep great whites. In 2016, the Okinawa Chirami Aquarium captured a male great white and placed it in a large tank. Within 3 days, it died. In every documented case, the story is the same: refusal to eat, high stress, injury, and rapid health decline. No amount of technology, veterinary care, or water quality management has been able to overcome the shark's biology and instincts. Some institutions have attempted to use enormous sea pens or open ocean enclosures to mimic natural conditions better, but these are logistically challenging, costly, and still don't guarantee success. The difficulty of replicating the dynamic, vast, and complex ocean environment remains a formidable barrier. Why captivity fails? The reasons are clear: ram ventilation dependence. They must keep swimming to breathe, and captivity disrupts that constant motion. Vast space requirements. In the wild, they roam thousands of kilometers. Tanks, no matter how large, are tiny in comparison. Stress sensitivity. Great whites are highly sensitive to confinement, leading to self-injury and refusal to feed. Dietary challenges. In the wild, they hunt live prey with complex strategies. In tanks, they often reject dead fish or alternative diets. In addition, their complex social behaviors and hunting strategies, which involve cooperation and learning, are impossible to replicate in a captive environment. Depriving them of natural stimuli leads to boredom, frustration, and maladaptive behaviors. The ethical question. Beyond biology, there's an ethical issue. Keeping great whites in captivity almost always leads to suffering and premature death. Unlike some shark species that adapt well to aquariums, great whites have shown us time and again that they belong in the open ocean. Today, many marine institutions agree that these animals should only be studied in the wild through tagging, tracking, and non-invasive observation. This approach not only respects the shark's nature, but also provides richer, more accurate scientific data. Innovative technologies such as satellite tagging, underwater drones, and remote sensing have revolutionized our understanding of great white sharks without disturbing their natural habitats. Genetic studies using environmental DNA, eDNA, now allow researchers to monitor shark populations by sampling water, minimizing human impact. Conclusion: the great white shark is a marvel of evolution, a perfectly adapted apex predator built for the open ocean. Its biology, instincts, and behavior are all tuned to a life of constant motion and vast migration. When we take it out of that environment, even with the best intentions, the result is almost always the same: decline and death. The failures of captivity are not a sign of human inadequacy, but of the shark's extraordinary specialization. Some creatures are simply too wild, too perfectly adapted to their natural world, to ever thrive behind glass. Our best hope lies in protecting their oceanic habitats, respecting their needs, and leveraging technology to learn about them without intrusion. In doing so, we honor not only the great white shark's majesty, but the delicate balance of life in the seas.